Hi. All right, we're a few minutes early, but a few minutes early never bothered anybody. I mean, okay, that's not true. I'm sure it's bothered a lot of people, but it's only 4 minutes. And I figured it was fair because we have to do a quick one tonight. So I will wait for people to kind of filter in and just ask, hey, how's everybody doing? How's it going? How is your week? Why did that sound like that? I've been doing too much Joseph voice. That was so fun, by the way. Favorite part of everything, getting to do the evil cackle. So good. I'm so glad you're not late because we don't have as much time tonight because I actually have to do work in a bit. So we're going to do this. Then I'm going to go work. And I was just about to launch into one of those terrible work songs, but I'm not going to. It's too early to start singing this early in the stream. It's not happening. Hi, everybody. I'm good. How are all of you? I see some of you are good. Some of you are a bit less good, but we'll see. I don't know what Artemis. I'm excited for work. I think it's a byproduct of having a kid. I'm like, ooh, work. Yeah. Yes, my hair is different for now. You know, it'll last for about all of what, like 3 months max, and then it'll be back to something else. Where's Mr. Shipper? Mr. Shipper is exiled. He's exiled. He's watching Disenchantment in the other room. He's good. Give it 3 weeks. I'm already planning the next thing, Timothy. You know how it is. It needed a break. Actually, it got damaged, not from the dyeing, but from cheap shampoo. So be warned. Cheap shampoo, the downfall of all hair. Awful, 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 awful. So I guess I should actually, yes. No, it's not a hint. I mentioned I'll be doing it, Aiden. It's just we were watching My Hero Academia before this, before I kicked him out. What ships were you into this week? Just this week. I will send you a virtual hug. I'm into, I'll just tell you because it's going to be a bajillion years before I finally get to it, especially now that I'm working again. I have a ship from Reservoir Dogs. So that's where I've been. Yeah, that's my life. So we're going to talk about what my title pertains to. Is, for some of you who don't know, I regularly watch the H3H3 podcast, and I was super stoked for Jacksepticeye to be on because I enjoy Jacksepticeye in general. But there is this segment of this podcast, and let me preface this by saying, not everybody has to like fan fiction or fangirl culture. I would always appreciate if they had a base level understanding of it, but you can't force that on everybody. You can't Clockwork Orange the world and make them sit there and explain fan fiction and fangirl, because that's what people call it, even though it's not all girls, fangirl culture to them. Fine. So, for those of you who don't know, Jacksepticeye feels some kind of way about Septiplier, and he hasn't made it a secret, but he's always been a very class act, in my opinion. Like, it's always saddened me that he has such a negative view of fan culture, but he has definitely come by it honestly. Like, it's intense being sent not safe for work art, fics, and stuff, especially after you've told people to stop, which he has. But he's always also been careful to try not to alienate his audience, which I respect. Basically, it's kind of like, at least these days, he won't bring it up unless you do. So he's on this podcast, and they're like, hey, you want to read some fan fiction? I'm just like, no, please, no. don't let this be happening. This is the darkest timeline. And he said he was fine with it, but I've never looked like that when I've said I've been fine about anything. Like, you fine with it? Yeah. I'm so fine with it. That's not what fine with it looks like. That is not what fine with it looks like. So anyway, they proceed to do a base Google search for Septiplier and come up with the smuttiest stuff and like read him the most awkward stuff they can find. And he's just there dying. and trying to be a good sport about it. Because here, two things bother me about this. Like, it still surprises me in this day and age when people are unaware of like fanfic and like what it is and like fangirl culture. Like, that does surprise me. I acknowledge that's because I'm biased, because I'm so deep down the rabbit hole I can't see the top anymore. But at the same time, I'm just, with any subculture, I'm like, don't just do a base Google search and then be like, haha, that's so weird. I'm just kind of like, And so, of course, you know what it was like. Those 14-year-old crazed fangirls, am I right? They got no life. And of course, because the type of audience that he has, you can imagine what the comment section was like. You can just imagine those no life having, sex crazed, fetishizing 14-year-olds. It was like, you know, when that girl called PewDiePie's audience a bunch of 9-year-olds. That's what it was like. It was like those bunch of 14-year-olds. And I was like, oh God. So anyway, he's there having to listen to this and play along. And it brought up this thing for me, which is like, I always feel so bad for celebrities, which is just that they have to be good sports. You know, it's like, you have to play along. And I'm like, that must be so much pressure. It must be so awful to be in situations where you just want to be like, nah, fam, I'm good. But you can't, because that makes you look uptight or a stick in the mud, or like ends up making the conversation worse. Like, I was just watching it and I just felt bad, because I was like, he's in a terrible situation. And it was just like, so if he answers and is like, no, I'm not fine with it, well, then he has to explain why he's not fine with it. And that opens up a whole conversation that he probably doesn't want to have. And if he says, yes, he is fine with it, which was the option he chose, then he's got to sit there and listen to a bunch of awkward fanfic that makes him uncomfortable. And I'm just like, why? Like, I got what they were going for, because Mrs. Benefit of the Doubt, I know they were trying for like a haha Graham Norton show. Try, guys, this is so cute. We're reading fanfic, haha. But it was just like, it was like those old Supernatural cons where they used to read fanfic and make fun of it. And it was just all this like, ooh, oh, can you believe people do this? So shocking. Like, why would anybody do this? And I'm just like, It's one of those scenarios where it's just like, nobody looks good. Everybody looks terrible. I'm like, the people who don't know what it is just look mean-spirited, malicious, and ignorant. He just looks uncomfortable. Fangirls look like a bunch of craze. So I'm just like, oh, just why? 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 That's the kind of thing I'm always like, if I was ever going to go on a podcast, I would be so uptight. I know it. I would be like the Mariah Carey. I'd be like, I'm not playing anything. I'm not doing anything. Give me all the questions beforehand. I'm not being invited anywhere. No one is taking me anywhere. Because I don't want to play that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Oh, my thing is that like RPF is already such a contentious area anyway. And it's just, you know, he's made his boundaries clear. Some people are okay with it. Some aren't. He's not. And that really should be respected by fans and hosts of podcasts that he goes on to. Just don't. Don't force fanfic on people who don't want it. Just don't do it. Like, just don't do it. That's a scenario where if someone's going to bring it up, they got to bring it up themselves, because that is as explicit consent as you can get. If someone's like, hey, I read this fic about me, I'm going to bring it up. But even then, that's a whole other can of worms that opens up a whole other thing. But I just felt bad. It was just poorly executed, poorly everything. And then at the end, I guess they got the reaction they wanted, which was the lowest common denominator cheap shot of, wow, aren't those fangirls crazy? And I'm like, that's so lazy and just so low and so ignorant of such a huge part of fan culture that I just can't even. And I'm like, why? Why? Like, that's the thing, Sammy. It's like, I would never be one of those people who says it shouldn't exist. My thing is that it should stay in its space. And it's really something that if the people involved don't want to see it, they shouldn't have to. I ship you and Mr. Shipper. I too ship me and Mr. Shipper. I find it's a bit different with like actors too. Like, I don't know. There's this pressure with YouTubers as well where people expect them to be super genuine, relatable, and okay with everything. And they try a bunch of stuff with them that they wouldn't necessarily try with quote unquote real celebrities, which I think is a problem unto itself. Oh, mystery goddess bagged milk. Oh, hi, Alan. I wondered where you were. Do you think being in fandom culture would make people more open to fan fiction about them? I think it depends what type of fandom culture, because lots of people are involved in fandom culture, but it's hard to remember when you're part of this level of fandom like we are, that this is a subset of a subset. There's fandom and then there's us. Like, even within fandom, we're considered like a bit of a weird niche subset. And the other thing that really bothered me is like in a lot of my vids, I get like flack for being like, people still think that, because I always say, I'm like, there are people who still think that fans are just a bunch of crazy teenage girls. And people are like, no one thinks that anymore. Your receipt's out of date. And I'm like, no, it's true. Now, whenever anybody says that, I can just send them this clip and I can be like, 2018. 2018. There's fandom and there's us. Oh my gosh. It's also the most insulting part of, honestly, of anything, like regardless of this material or not, this situation or not, is the assumption that you have no life, or that this cannot in some way be a viable outlet or like a fun hobby or something that you can have. They just on like, we have no life, guys. Did you know that? We have no life. Our fun is not as real as other people's fun. Our fun is substandard to all other fun. Oh, I was just sad. I'm like, the rest of it was pretty okay, but I'm like, this is just a usual problem for the H3 podcast, to be honest. Like, he regularly pushes guests past the point where they're comfortable or want to talk about something, because he's just not that great of a host. And then they're like, I guess I better answer because the question's still being asked. I know, right, Kira? Someday I won't. I'm not embarrassed. Honestly, I'm to the point where loud and proud and let people, I almost feel like I need to stand there as an example to be like, yo, I'm a married 28-year-old mom. What you want? Not a 14-year-old crazed fangirl. What's it you? Like standing on a street corner. I think that a lot, Ben. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, I hate like making judgments about people I don't know. Like, I don't want to be shady, but sometimes that is like a vibe that I do get. Why am I like choking myself? Like, I can't even talk about it. Like, telepathically, it's reaching through the screen. Like, stop talking about it. Oh, no, I can't choke anybody. Not after that Joseph dialogue. You were so into it last night. Joseph. Yeah, and that's part of why I'm really excited to be starting Fic Rec Friday, which I've actually gathered the first fix. Like, the bare bones and structure are in place. I even actually bought a costume for Shipoween, you guys. It was $5. Don't get too excited. But I have started that. At first, I was concerned that people would go after like certain authors or stuff, because I'm gonna wreck everything, and some of it's gonna be taboo. But I'm like, all I can do is give a warning and hope that I have amassed the audience that I think I have. And I think I've amassed a bunch of really decent, open-minded people. So fingers crossed. Now I'm Lotor. I'm just all the voices tonight. Oh. Give me a high five. Where do you want it? Wow. Up here, I guess. High five. No, that was weird. The screen. It's awful. I can't do a high five. I'm incompetent. No. You won't betray us like Lotor did. Oh. Oh. Yeah, Star Captain, that's what we were talking about. I did hear it. I did hear it. Just again, I think it must be stressed. The reason that Jacksepticeye and Markiplier feel that way is entirely valid. They have had a really terrible experience. I do still wish, as the shipping mama bear that I am, that I could like go over and be like, I can show you the ships. It's not all really creepy. But like, I know that's not going to happen. I guess that's just one of my really lame fantasies that I'll keep inside, except I told you, so it's not inside anymore, is it? It's that kind of stream, isn't it? Oh, man. I know, right? Is that our theme? Some people just don't board the ship, and that's okay. My only wish for all people is that they understand why some people would want to board the ship and understand that everybody boarding it isn't like crazed and in a straitjacket. That's all I want. You don't have to like it. I just want people to understand why certain people would. I feel like other levels of fandom have reached that level of like, y'all lame, but I get it. And I feel like we haven't got there yet. Oh, like that's all I want. I don't need anybody to like what I like or think it's cool or valid or anything. I just want them to be like, that's the thing that you like, and I like different things, and it's okay that we like different things. Because the thing is too is that like shipping and like transformative fandom and stuff, it's always so highlighted when people in this side of fandom go too far and people jump down like their throats. But I'm like, other sides of fandom go too far too. And it's almost like, okay, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. But whenever it's like the shipping side, it's like disgusting. It all needs to stop. And I'm just like, why? Anybody can go too far in anything. There are like wine buffs who are mixing together fake wines and selling them. Like, don't pretend that this is a uniquely like shipping problem. I know I'm not cool either. I'm not cool. I'm lame. I'm actually kind of proud of how lame and boring I am. That's awful. That sounds awful, but you know what I mean? Like, you're just at home on like your 5th episode of My Hero Academia buying pie that you want to eat by yourself because you're an adult, and you're like, yeah, this is my life, and I'm okay with it. Oh. Oh, Winter, I'm so glad. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that, Screen Squinty. It's part of more and more people's master theses I'm finding. Actually, I actually did like one with an OT3 Fanversations with a member of Fandom Academia, and that should be going up hopefully this month if I can get my act together. Oh God, Katisa, I wish I had a reason. Sometimes I just remember that I'm an adult, and then I'll just go do something because I can. Like, I don't know if this happens to any of you, like if y'all are adults, but I sometimes just remember I'm like, I'm an adult. I can go and get a pie when I want, and then I'll do it. Those are the exciting moments in my life. You know, some people are like, I went to a graffiti park. I went skydiving. I went on an impromptu trip to Spain. I went and bought pie. And I'm just as happy as if I did any of those other things. Like, yes, pie. My life is complete. I did buy pie today, in case you're wondering. Pie happened. I went to the grocery store with my daughter, and pie was on sale. And I was like, well, there's a whole pie for $4. Like, why would I not buy this pie? There are no reasons for me not to buy this pie. What kind of pie? Okay, so it was a cookies and cream, ice cream, chocolate crust pie. That's what type of pie we're talking about. I'm just Dean Winchester. Oh, let me tell you my pie story. Why am I clapping? When I was pregnant one time, well, actually, when I was pregnant, I've only been pregnant one time. When I was pregnant, I called my husband and I asked him, I was like, I need pie. Please bring me home pie. Bring me pie. And he came home with cake. And I cried. Oh, I cried. It's like, cake's not pie. Oh, cake's not pie. Oh man. Seriously, like when you're pregnant, you cry over the weirdest things. Like I know some people like don't, they got it in control. I was not one of those people. I was crying over the randomest of things. I know, right, Betty? Cake is not pie. It's not the same thing. I don't know if cheesecake would have been okay. He has no face. Oh. Oh man. Hi, Rena. How about pie inside of a cake? I don't know. I think it really depends on what kind of pie it is. It's so disappointing, right, Katie? Like when you were expecting one thing, you get something else. That's why, like, you know, those food shows where they're like, the challenge is to make a food that looks like something but tastes like something else. And I'm just like, no, I don't want that. Boo, everybody fails. Everybody go home. That's why I can't be a judge on anything either. I can't go on any talk show. I can't go on a podcast. I can't be a judge anywhere. I don't know. Would you guys want to play along? Like, let's say overnight you're transformed into like a super cool, hip, trendy celebrity and everybody wants you on all of the talk shows and you got to go on. They're like, okay, we're just going to play a game, truth or dare, but with hot sauce. Like, would you want to do it? Would you want to? I would. I've accepted by the societal conventions of the mainstream I'm not fun, and I can live with that. I can live with that. It's fine. I'm not fun. I'm a stick in the mud. People can deal with it. I don't know how many times you have to watch it, Aussie Nerd. I don't know. I guess maybe the true test is if like you keep thinking about it and keep wanting to rewatch it, even like in like months' time. I know. I'd rather stay home too. Oh, I'm such an old cat lady. I need to get a cat. But no, that's like my best evening. Like sometimes I realize, like, well, before, like this is before, now I leave my house every day because I've got to do errands and do stuff like that. But there was a period, especially at the end of my maternity leave, where I was like, I haven't left my house in 3 days and I'm entirely fine with it. I am totally fine with it. It wasn't in that like I couldn't or didn't want to. It was just like I was doing other things that kept me inside. And I was like, I'm okay. This is my life now. Cats or dogs? I can't answer that. For me, I like cats. Nothing against dogs. Like I'd have a dog too. But like if you were like, you only have a cat or a dog, I'd be like, give me that cat. Give me the cat right now. I want a cat. Well, thank you so much. I know why choose. Both is good. I'm so stoked to be done Dream Daddy because now I'm pointing over there, you can see it. I did script the shippable review. So that should be coming up soon. Then I can do, oh, that reminds me, because I'm going to do a candid video after the shippable review because you know I like to keep reviews and know your ships and stuff separate from my own opinion, even though not everybody knows that or gets it, but that's fine. I want to do a separate video for my opinions, answering the frequently asked questions. So please remind me what questions you want answered from the Dream Daddy stream and I'll answer them. I'm going to do, of course, like what I thought was the best route. I wouldn't say worst. I don't think there was a worst, but just like general questions. So like, tell me here if you remember them and then I'll answer them and I'll put them, I'll screen grab things. I'll use the magic of the snipping tool. Kelly, I think so. Yes, I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm sorry. We covered it fast. I'm talking fast. I know, Alan, I am. Oh my gosh, Luna's so salty. I love it. Did you decide on Shippaween? I decided that I'm doing it. I haven't decided all the ships. I mean, there are a couple that are definitely set in stone because there's one that I've just been like waiting for an opportunity to do. And I'm like, well, Shippaween is the opportunity for pinhead ships. When else was that going to happen? The dress I bought, it was $5 and I bought it online. So that could be a disaster. But anyway, it's for a Two-Face costume. Everything's going to be B for budget, so I hope nobody is expecting any kind of like super cool, high budget, like cool cosplay level stuff, because that's not happening here. We're getting some B for budget, made in your house, making what you have, work around you costumes. That's what's happening. Because that's how my costumes always are. We will do Cold Flash because that's going to be this month's Patreon, but I can't talk. Sometimes the words they don't come. They won't come. Like how I added random words to the Let's Play. Did you notice that? Like I said sarcastic instead of sadistic, and I was watching it over and I was like, why? It doesn't even look like that. Come on now. Learn to read. That's why I don't upload any of my bloopers, because it's just me yelling at myself. Why can't you read? I mean, my daughter left this here and now I can't stop playing with it. I sacrificed a makeup brush to her so she can just always use this because I don't use it because this is a really specific weird brush. Oh no! What was your costume idea? Why was it vetoed? Tell me. I need to know. Makeup brush XCOM. Female Bucky? I think that would have been cool. That would have been really cool. They're not bloopers. I'm super serious, yo. Remember, I never smile. There's no fun. This is a no fun zone. Last year Halloween wasn't anything. The year before that, though, I was Sadness from Inside Out. Those who follow me on Amino know, because I still have that as my picture. Oh, I did a full-on swear in the Dream Daddy vid. So I blurped it. I was kind of sad though, because like, you ever like just enunciate a word perfectly? I enunciated it perfectly and I was like, like that's a perfect enunciation, like the way you wish you could say it, but I'm gonna censor it. Sometimes it's just perfect. The laugh came out good though. I was pleased with that. I like that you thought I would just paint myself blue. That makes me happy. Who's getting arrested? I don't know. I live right next to a freeway on-ramp, so it's awful. Everybody, like, and every time I have to record, like, the huge muffler gang decides that they're going to drive by my house, and it's just like row after row of really excessively loud mufflers, and I'm like, why? Why? Oh. I see some of y'all still talking about our main topic, and it really vacillates whether people feel that it is a question of privacy or not. I 100% feel that it is a question of privacy when it comes to sending it to them, but it is understandable why people ship them, because lots of times people don't fully look at people in the public eye as people, more as personas or avatars, whether they realize that they're doing it or not. And the other thing people need to realize too is that this has been going on for a long time. Like RPF and stuff, we're talking Bronte sisters, we're talking ancient Greece. Like this is old, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So fans, I think especially, need to learn how to navigate and not impose upon people's real space with people's real feelings, you know? at the same time, if they haven't had terrible experiences, it would be nice if they could also open up and acknowledge why it's happening and realize that it's not about them, really. But in certain cases, especially like, for example, Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, like we're talking like people accosting them in public and accusing them of like being a closeted queer couple and stuff, and that their girlfriends are beards, and like we're talking like serious line crossing, like real intense line crossing. It's just going down. It's going down. It's being put down. It's on the ground. We're not touching it. They don't like there's a danger with equating like not, you know, with not equating people. It's hard. Like, you know, it's like when people see Daniel Radcliffe and they yell Harry in the street, or like when people equate like Haley Kyoko's portrayal of Velma with the character being queer. And I'm like, I understand why, but at the same time, you're entering a dangerous boundary where you're actually opening it up for actors and stuff to be more harassed. And I'm like, you always need to be careful when avenues like that, when you start down them. And my thing is that I feel bad also in that scenario with Jacksepticeye and like the reading of the fanfiction stuff, because it makes a lot of people who are just writing the stuff and keeping it to themselves and being good fans and just enjoying this quietly in their corner, it makes them feel ashamed and it makes them feel bad. And this might be a really big source of comfort for them, or something that brings them a great deal of joy. And they may not have been one of those fans who was crossing the line and stuff. And I'm like, that's just, again, it's just an unfair situation for everybody. It's unfair. Game of Thrones. What do you think it is that makes people feel like they can do that? I'm not sure why people feel they can do that. In some ways, it almost feels like people feel like these people aren't real, or that they don't have feelings. But I feel that also it's part of the YouTube environment that there's this idea that they're so accessible. Not only that, but they have to be accessible. Like a lot of building a YouTube brand, you'll see it also in like videos critiquing people. Like they need to be more genuine. They need to show their life, or like that's Shane. Okay, let's do this. Like that Shane Dawson series he did with Graveyard Girl, where he gave her, in my opinion, the worst advice, and you can see because it backfired totally on her, where he was just like, share everything, put it out there, just all your moments, your breakdowns, just all of that out there. And it's like that kind of forced closeness, I think, makes certain fans feel that they're closer to you than they actually are. And it breaks down the lines of distance. And I think that for some people who already have a harder time understanding barriers or not realizing that they're in place, they then think that they can go around and like talk to people in this way and don't realize that it's not appropriate. Because when celebrities do put down really, you know, strong barriers, then they get labeled as being really problematic or rude or mean. And so it's really hard. It's a hard line for them to walk. It's the thing, Armis. It gets views. It gets views, but there is a definite trade-off. There is a definite trade-off. And for me personally, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping certain things private. See ya, Sophia. Woo, Detroit. Oh, yeah. God, I'm really glad that's not a common practice anymore. It like, Nia, it needs to be done. Like, that needs to die. Can we not bring that back? Let's not bring that back. There's also the awkward question, too, about whether the authors wanted it read in that capacity. Like, a lot of people just post things, and they're like, it's here for fans, but not for them. Don't cross the streams. I can't imagine how embarrassed some people are, you know? Detroit become thirsty. Joey, I think so too. I think so too. And I don't think that creators should be penalized for that. Like, there's a whole bunch of people you'll see, like, they're so different in private than in public. And I'm like, well, no duh. Like, no, really? A person you haven't met personally is different in real life? No. Stop the presses. Oh man. Oh no, my water. Guys, I have a reusable straw. I hope you all appreciate this beautiful reusable straw. I got it because we got a pack for the baby. But this time, I'm prepared. I was prepared this time. Only Love Me. Small confession. I have been shipping Keith and Access since season 1. So this wasn't surprising to me, but like I was alone in a corner. Now there are people in my corner. I don't know. Technically, Timothy, technically, but some of them are more reusable than others. Oh, he's gone. He can't even get me like more water right now if I wanted. Bah. 2? Which one was it, Timothy? It's been a long time. Was it 2? Whatever one was that horrible episode with him and Hunk. Must have been 2 because he realized he was Galra. Yeah, that episode. Whatever her first appearance was, that's where I was. What's on the TV in the back? My Hero Academia. Did Mr. Shipper pass his exam? Oh, thank you for asking. We're not sure yet. He took it. It looks like it went well. We'll find out in a little bit. I was in shipping's corner too, Luna. Like I was in both corners. That's the thing with me, and that's why I feel like fic rec is going to be so weird for people because it's going to be like this and then this and this completely opposite idea. This fic where Steve's a jerk. This fic where Tony's a jerk. This fic where everybody's a jerk. This fic where they're all dead. Like I'll read anything. I'll read anything and I'll consider anything. I don't know. I kind of liked being alone in the corner, Janet. I mean, it's fine. I would have accepted siblings as well. I'm down for it. They could still be. I don't care. Here, I don't care. Like, is that bad? I don't care. Like, I was gonna hop on that Leah Kira vid really quick, but like some people are still too mad. So I'm gonna wait for people to stop being so mad because the mad is just out of control. And I'm like, I don't need it. Is that the infamous pie in the chair? No. You may be seeing like yogurt handprints from my daughter though. Ugh. I don't want the show to end. I don't mean like I don't care, like I'm over it. I just mean like whatever happens, I'll be fine with it. Basically, that's how I am with most ships, whether it goes the way I want it to or not. It was so similar, right? As soon as I saw it, I was like, look, they're like the same person. They're the same person. Maybe they just have the same face syndrome. Oh. Ships live forever in our hearts. They do. Oh, here's a really random question. See ya. Here's a really random question. Should I start saying my name in vids? I just realized I don't enough when people keep calling me Sarah. And like, why am I trying to garrote people now? I just need to stop touching things. I need to stop touching things. It needs to stop. No more touching. No touching. Oh, I'm so glad that you found a trope that you enjoy now. Sometimes I call myself SGG, which is super weird. And I feel like I'm in that Batman Beyond episode where the guy tries to drive Bruce insane by making him think he's hearing voices, but he calls him Bruce. And then Terry's all like, how did you know you weren't insane? And he's like, that's not what I call myself. I'm like, you call yourself Batman? It's kind of amazing. That's kind of amazing. No, I don't think that's fair, Only Love Me. There are people who dislike it for other reasons as well. It's definitely not a 5-star show. Like, it's strong and has very strong elements, but it's not completely 5 stars, which is what it had when we still had stars, which I miss. Does anybody else still miss stars? It's been years on Netflix, and I'm like, but the stars were there. Who needs the moon? For we have the stars. Oh, I miss the stars. I just want to be able to give things stars again. I don't just like or dislike something. I have so many things are 3 stars to me. 3 or 2. Also, because of that, the percentage system of what it thinks I like, I'm always just there. You don't know me. You don't know me. Something that I hate has like 96% rec for me. And I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know me at all, Netflix. I thought we had a thing going. See you, Jane. It is, Henry. Like, now they've like buried it under like all the other things. It's all like, oh, these are all like the really random categories we think that you want based on that one thing you watched that one time. And I'm like, no, where's my list? Give me my list. Bye, Artemis. Oh, awesome. What was the ship? What was the video about? Tell me. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but I will, because I don't believe in forming an opinion about something you haven't seen. That really should be an option. It should be an option to be able to tell Netflix that you clicked on it by accident. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. Also, you had like the best headcanon in the comment section of the recent Dream Daddy video. I really appreciated it. Oh. Oh, it is very war focused. Like, for a lot of people, Voltron isn't what they want it to be. And I'm like, Voltron is like the old Voltron, but it's a really good updated version. I came for mechs with silly cat hands fighting, and I got mechs with silly cat hands fighting. I'm here. I got what I know, the because you liked section is so weird. Oh, I got the best one the other day. I wish I could remember because they were just 2 completely different genres, and I was like, what? I really want to be inside the brain of the person who connected these 2 things together. Like, I need to know. What are we talking about? I don't know. At this point, I think I'm just kind of scrolling through and checking to see what y'all are saying. I love reading my comments. I really do. It's a fun space. And I like replying to people when I can, which is like not as often as I'd like, but you know, a decent amount. Send me fan fiction. I will do the fic recs as soon as are you like there? I'm like blinded. That's so terrifying. Ugh. Are you in the kitchen? I'm like blind. Can you get me more water? Please. That's right, the magic word, please. Can it have ice in it? Please.
Teach your daughter all day.
I don't know. Clearly not, please. I actually watched all of Zumbo's Just Desserts. Talking to you guys on Twitter, honestly, Ben, is the only reason I have a Twitter, because most of the time going through my main feed when I go through it is just like so much anger and like people think they're being clever sass, and I'm just like, no. And it almost sucks you in. Like I felt like when I made that tweet about like Jacksepticeye thing, like part of me felt like I was being sucked into that, and then that just made me sad because I'm like, I don't want to contribute to like the really toxic atmosphere of Twitter. I just want it to be fun, and I want to share gifs and images and talk fandom. I want cold water, okay? Don't judge me. Thank you.
Well,
I said thank you.
I know, that's why I said you want.
How did I pronounce it? I don't remember. Did I say GIF or GIF? In my heart, I say GIF, and privately, and I guess with y'all, I'll say GIF. But on like camera, I say GIF because people get too triggered, and I don't have time for it. Also, I'm going to share a pet peeve. I'm really looking forward to doing My Hero Academia, but at the same time, I'm not, because I have a hard time pronouncing certain things. I always have. I do my best and I look it up, but like there are just certain things that I find very awkward, or certain enunciations and tones that I find awkward. And so I know that there are certain things that are going to be a bit difficult for me to pronounce. And I know that people are going to make fun of me. And I'm just not looking forward to it, because the anime fandom in general is just very, it's always been very up on, you know, the whole like, haha, you can't pronounce things, so you're not a real fan. And I'm just like, sometimes you just know it's going to happen and you're just not looking forward to it. You know, I'm just like, because even if I say at the beginning, like I can't, like I tried, I'm sorry, people are still just going to point and laugh. And I'm kind of like, I don't like being pointed and laughed at. And I'm kind of, it makes me not even want to try sometimes. I'm like, you know, I try my best. I look at proper pronunciations. Like I go and watch actual Japanese people pronouncing the word. And the funny thing is sometimes I will pronounce it the way that they do and people still tell me I'm wrong. And I'm just like, so I will, of course, like I'll always soldier through, and I'm really, there's so much to talk about here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm still deciding. I don't even know which one I'm going to do. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That's part of why I'm trying to like, who do you want first? Who do you want? Which ship do you want? Tell me. Like I speak a couple of languages, and like one of the things I can't do is I can't roll R's to save my life, and like it makes Spanish difficult. My goodness, it makes Spanish difficult. But like I find that people are still polite when you put the effort in. I find that lots of times the anime fans, like this is just a generalization, and lots of them are great, but like some of them, like they don't even care that you put the effort in. It's just like, you're wrong. Ha 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 ha. And I know where it comes from. It comes from that history of being like maligned and told that you were lame and inferior and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I don't appreciate it. I don't like tiering of fandoms or fandom hierarchies. Like, I'm just not here for that. I'm like, we're all fans. We're all enjoying. No one's trying to be purposely rude or disrespectful or anything. So you shouldn't try and be rude and disrespectful back, in my opinion. Letter R isn't my friend. I've told you the story about like the low-key lisp too, and like the having to leave class and like the pencil against the teeth and like all that stuff from my childhood. So like I just have a history with it too. So I know that's my problem. Like nobody knows that. That's my beef that I have. But it very much just takes me back there to that place. And it's not a pleasant place to go. Good luck on your quiz, Pugs. Good luck. Every now and again, I'll still have a lispy moment and I'll just hear all those horrible things in my head. And it's like when you go into a situation knowing that people are going to like be like that with you, it makes you trip up even more, you know? And it's so unfortunate because I actually love the anime fandom so much. But whenever I talk about the anime fandom, I find that so many times they fulfill all the negative stereotypes that people have about them in the comments. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Can't you see? Don't do it. Oh. Have you ever had to take a break, quit? Take a break? I think in general, I just take fandom breaks. Just sometimes just for whatever reason, just for fun. Like I'll go back to other fandoms that don't have that type of fandom in it, or I'll just be hanging out doing what I'm interested in, a lot of really random things. So sometimes I'll just be over there doing that, or I'll be working. Also because like I'm a mom, I have a job. Like there are lots of other things that take time away from fandom. So it's hard to get hyper focused on that kind of thing. Would you rather be a unicorn or a mermaid? What are the perks of being a unicorn? What do I get? What do I get out of it? Merman. That's right. Merman. Merman. Sometimes too, it depends where you are. Like certain people pronounce things a different way depending upon where you are and stuff like that. And that impacts it too when like there are certain things that are accented. Like sometimes I pronounce things the British way and like people get on me for that too. Like that doesn't bother me because I'm like, whatever, you just don't know the accent of my region. Like that's fine. But it is one of my pet peeves. I keep looking at it like it is one of my pet peeves, especially because it's a language that I'm trying to learn and it's really discouraging. It's really discouraging. The idea that like no matter how hard I try, like people are still just gonna make fun of me because it's not their definition of perfect. So now I'm bummed out. Bummed. I got bummed. I bummed myself. What? What is that? Ew. Ooh, I like Tales of Glorious Justice. I mean, tell me Tales of Glorious Justice. Happy birthday. How old are you turning if you don't mind my asking? I picked it back up. I said I wasn't going to, and I did. It needs to go back down. See, this caused it. This was the cause of the sadness. It can go back down. It can sit over there in the corner. Boop. Okay. Unicorn for magic. Magic for sure. Always magic. No, I'm not picking it up again. I'm not picking it up again. It's not going up. It's not going up. My thing, because someone said, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with correcting. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with correcting if it's kind. I'm more than happy, you know, and like lots of times too, you also need to realize that a million people leave the same comment and that lots of times you hear it after and you realize like, oh, shoot. Or like somebody says and you're like, oh, dang, you know, like, yeah, I was wrong. You can't correct it post in the vid. So there's nothing you can do about it there. You can only pronounce it correctly the next time. A million people have already told you. So like, why are you jumping on it too? And most of the time it's not kind. That's the thing. Like most of the time it's condescending or rude or just mean-spirited. Like I'm more than happy for all kinds of constructive criticism. It's great. Like it's really wonderful when people genuinely want you to improve and want you to do better. But a lot of times that's not the place that it's coming from at all. And y'all know, you're in fandom. Y'all know about the condescending comments. Don't pretend. You know. That sounds like an interesting fic. That sounds like a really interesting fic. Right, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready, Ben. I'm holding it so I can read it. I just like the phrase glorious moderators. If you guys have to be part animal, ooh, like a splice, like Batman Beyond, like full on splice. If I had to be part animal, ooh, part snake, come on, part snake. Ooh, and with a full transformation sequence like Jafar, guess you'll see how snake-like I can be. Oh my God, Jupiter is ascending. The earth belongs to me. I want to talk about, just so I can do my horrible Eddie Redmayne in that movie impression. Oh my goodness. Mother. It's so amazing. I create life. Oh, I have a soft spot for that movie. It was on Netflix. I was like, well, there's my afternoon. There's my afternoon plan. I got it. Oh. Honey, what time do we have to work out? Huh? Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, we're talking about Jupiter ascending. It was a glorious moment. It was a brief blip in time. I don't know if it still is. I can neither confirm nor deny. I actually am working on another AU vid since people took to Hanahaki so well. So even now saying it, like, I feel uncomfortable, and that makes me so mad at myself. Like, I hate when I let things phase me. It really bothers me. But it's like, there are just some things that like hit a core insecurity in yourself. And I feel like being able to own that, acknowledge it, and just be like, okay, that's a bit of a weak spot in the armor. I just need to, you know, acknowledge it, work on it, and move on. Like, you know. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it right too, but you know, what do I know? Right to my core. My inner sad core being pulled out of math class to go sit in the library by myself and hold a pencil to my mouth and say, she sees seashells by the seashore over and over again. My salty core, my molten core. What trope? Oh, you want to know? You want to know the trope? It's wingfic. We're doing wingfic. I did it. No. I'm throwing it. It's gone. I can't pick it up again. Oh, I can't pick it up again. I actually got to wingfic because one of my favorite fics of all time is a wingfic, and I found it again, and I was like, oh, I haven't actually. Yes, I did throw it, and I didn't. And I realized I hadn't talked about wingfic, so I thought it would be fun. Try to beat your record. Well, I threw it, so now definitely record will not even be challenged. Ooh, I need to check something real fast. Keep chatting. I just need to check a thing. She is opening a tab and checking it twice. She's got to find out when her due date is. But the internet is slow. Oh, tonight. Let me see. Okay. It says right. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. Ooh, I like that crossover 8 mad. I like that. I need to fiddle with things. I'm a fiddler, you know? I'll wreck it. I need to find it again. Like, thing is, I feel bad because a lot of times people ask me like, where's the fic? What's the fic? And I genuinely don't remember because I read so many fics, and it's not even a slight against the fic. It's just that I just remember it was good. I'm like, it was good and I liked it. Another. Oh, I know. The sadness. What's also sad is when people delete fics and they don't orphan them. That's always real sad. And you go back and it's just gone, vanished to the nether realm, and you didn't save it or download it. And you're like, no, why didn't I plan for this future? Didn't I know this was the darkest timeline? When I hear two people combined together, I think of that horrible Voyager episode, Tuvix. Does anybody remember that? Where Tuvok and Neelix were fused together in an attempt to make Neelix more likable. And it didn't work. Oh, I'm guilty too. My only fanfics that I've ever written are abandoned. But nobody cared. They weren't good. So oh, it's fine. Isn't that like most Janeway plot? No, sorry. Tuvix should not be. I haven't deleted mine. Like, mine are still there. I don't even think I could find them again. I don't even remember what fandom one was for. How bad is that? Is that awful? It is. Oh. Oh, live journal. Yes. Tell us more about what? What am I telling about? I don't know. I'm jumping from topic to topic and one long, incredibly unbroken sentence. Come on. Please, somebody have caught that reference, please. That would make me happy. Oh, I too like the fake dating trope. I think one of my favorite fake dating tropes was actually in the Daredevil fandom. It was so good because for like, I don't mind things when they're like off topic. And it was like, yeah, I know you're devils of Hell's Kitchen and stuff, but my parents are inviting me over for dinner and they think I have a boyfriend. And I told them it was you. I was just like, yes, please. More, please. That's right. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. Oh, I know the whole song too. I was actually listening to it this morning. The Mafia You. Also, how many of you are aware of how much fan fiction there is in the Godfather fandom? There's a decent amount, and lots of times I'm there. Ooh, fake married and they're spies. I like that. They're spies going undercover, and the only cover they can have is that they're fake married. I read an amazing, get ready for it, Eric and Moira fic with that trope, and it was amazing. I should definitely wreck that one. Because it was like, oh no, she's going undercover and she needs someone to go with her, but she needs him to look imposing and stuff. The only person around is Eric. And then it's got like Charles like eavesdropping on them telepathically and being like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh, it was so good. It was so good. That's right, undercover and fake married. Oh. I've read so many. I was a Cherrick shipper from the TAS days. So, yeah. And I found like the 2 fics from like the animated series that existed before the movies aired or anything. And I was like, yes, these are mine. I printed them. I still have them. Mutual pining can be. I'll find them. I'll pick them out of the box I have and see if they're still up, because they were on like a squidge or something like that. There was so much shipping vibes, right? Like, especially that one episode where they get faked out because they each get sent a fake message from the other that they're hurt and dying and they need to come right away. And like, there's rioting in the city and everything. And they're like, well, whatever. But this message said that he needed help, so I'm off. Oh. I'm just loving all of the tropes. It's making me happy. I won't lie. I'm inordinately excited for doing the fic recs. I'm looking forward to it. We don't do a lot of candid stuff, so I am looking forward to doing a bit more of that. I think that the melding is going well of the more analytical and the more quote unquote fun. What do you think? Tell me, you're the audience. You know. Why am I talking in that voice? I don't know. I'm in a good mood tonight. do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Somebody said Pogo, and now the Picard Pogo song's in my head. What is the, I know, right? I forgot, Luna. That's why we don't have fun here. This is serious. I'm gonna do a vid on soulmate AUs and the red string, even though they're tangentially linked, and all that fun stuff. Come cheer up, my lads. Come cheer up, my lads. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. Hi. Babylon 5. One day I'll get to talk about Babylon 5. One day. Same with Battlestar Galactica. Like, one day I'm determined to somehow work that picture of the 2 Starbucks reconciling at a Starbucks into a video someday. I'm like, that's the 2 Starbucks at a Starbucks. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Babylon 5 is just such an interesting fandom in general. I'm like, yes. Demi, you're late. Bear, you know, my husband has a sweatshirt with Bears Beats and Battlestar Galactica. It's like my daughter's favorite shirt. Oh, Avengers movie night. Avengers movie night is a tag I like to live in. Ooh, Avengers group nap time. It sounds so weird to say, but it's good. I swear. Dream sharing. Oh, dream sharing is really neat. Especially if you get a telepath in the mix. That can be really fun. I've read some really good dream sharing fics. Ooh, what about the secret barista? Like for some reason being a barista is like super shameful. And they're like, it's gotta keep it secret, keep it safe. There are things over there. And I want to pick them up. But I'm not going to. I want to pick them up. Ah. No. I don't even know how long I've lasted without picking something up. But the Mothman. Ooh, yeah, Secret Identity. I love, what's it called? Oh, identity porn? I think so. Yeah, identity porn is really good where it's like superheroes, but they don't know each other's secret identity yet. I've read so many great super bat fics like that. Those, yeah. It's like, what? He was Batman the whole time. I need to wreck. That's a great. There are so many really good Superbat fics in the Batman versus Superman fandom. People don't know because they don't like the movie, but there's so much like fix-it work going on in that fandom that's so good. Oh, there's such a good fic where it's like Bruce he's convinced that he knows that Clark is Superman, but he doesn't know that Clark is wearing like the gold that nullifies his powers temporarily. And so he invites Clark up to give an exclusive interview, and they're doing it, and he just gets up and sucker punches him in the face to like prove that he's Superman, but he's wearing the gold, so he just knocks him out. It's such a good fic. Ah. I'm way too excited about fics tonight. Oh, I don't know if people are ready to know that I'm actually excited about fandom and that I enjoy it. Oh. Rachel, you know I never remember. I will find it because the trick is, even though I don't remember, I bookmark everything. Like my bookmarks are disgusting. Like no one needs that many bookmarks. I will go through and find the glorious. No, Timothy, like, I don't know. It started real recently. I think like last week. You've been Batman. Half the time I can tell what they are just by looking at them. Like, where are my bookmarks at? Where are the girls at? With their shipping Rex and their high heels and their favorite ships. Oh, where are the girls with the ships in the club with their reading glasses on, reading fics in the club? Yeah, I know what these are. I've got to start. I've got to start downloading them. The least toxic platform, I'd have to say I like AO3. I like 8-tracks. I know it's super weird to like 8-tracks for shipping, but I really like fan mixes. So yeah. Oh, I feel like I might have read that Winter Snow. I think I might have read that. Yeah, what I'm really hoping for the fic thing is that it just turns into a giant like fic rec thing, and then like you rec fics, I rec fics. Sometimes I take fics that you rec. Sometimes you take fics that I rec. It's just a wonderful cyclical exchange. Yes. 8-tracks. It's just a it's not exclusively fan mixes, but it's basically people making their own playlists and they're themed. But a lot of times because of that, they are fan mixes themed around certain like characters, ships, that kind of thing. I was all up in the Nightwing fan mixes this morning. Oh, really? Did they ban it? That just brings me great sadness. I go on Wattpad sometimes because people don't cross post, which bothers me. I'm like, no, cross post everywhere. All of the sites. Yeah, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm tube man is just my gesture for cross posting. So, I'm not gonna lie. I have a bit of a hard time grasping the hate for Wattpad. At least the vehemence behind it. I can understand its source, but the vehemence is a bit intense for me. Martian Manhunter slash anybody. I know, right? The website is more difficult to navigate. I'll give you that. The app is better. I find if you know what you're looking for on Wattpad, it can make it very helpful. And a lot of people post a lot of multi-chapter one-shots on Wattpad. It is, I will give you that. It's not the most intuitive of platforms. That's for sure. Oh. It's funny. I have a dream. Wow, that sounds grandiose. If I ever made my own platform, not only would it have the ability to have all the tags and exclude tags and all that stuff, it would have the ability to turn tags off entirely. That is my dream. It would be glorious. We're coming to the end. 4. I know, right? Ain't mad? Because, yeah, I would want to be able to hide them all. Like, if that was an option, like I would want that to be an option for people. I would want it to be toggleable, like on and off, if you wanted. For me, I'm a person, like, I would want them off. That is just me. I know I'm the only person in the universe who wants this. I'll make my own platform just for that, just so I can turn them off. So, as y'all know, Mr. Shipper is secretly Craig. So that means that we need to work out. So I need to go work out with him. So thank you so much for hanging out, chatting, listening, all of that good stuff. We will see you again next week, maybe this weekend. I don't know. Monster prom. But it's been fun as always. Have a good night, day, whatever it is you're doing, and I will see you back soon for a regular video or another stream. Have a good night. Bye-bye.